Over the 12 or so years Minecraft has been in game, we have seen many features added. Some of them useful like the light and enchantments, others not so much. This is not a list of Minecraft's worst features, or even most useless. This is a list of Minecraft's most disappointing features. Features destined for greatness but fell short. The Glow Squid was a mob that was revealed during the 2021 mob vote at Minecraft Live. The Glow Squid was competing against the Iceologer and Moonbloom. However, this mob vote was surrounded with some controversy, as a certain Crimson Chin looking YouTuber helped sway the mob vote by saying anyone who votes for the Glow Squid he would follow. And once the Dream Stands came, we knew it was over. The kicker being we voted for a Glow Squid that doesn't glow. However, the Glow Squid isn't entirely useless, as its glow ink sacs make nice dyes for signs. During Minecraft's Exploration Update, aka 1.11, Mojang added the feature of being able to smelt down armor and tools into iron and golden nuggets. This feature is useful except for the fact that you'd only get one nugget in return, making it useful in very niche scenarios. However, the solution is obvious. If you're to be given, say, 50% or even 25% of the nuggets back, it would become useful, as it would allow players to do stuff with built-up armor drops from spawner farms, and allows some small refund system. This doesn't seem too extreme, especially considering how powerful iron and gold farms are, as these would serve as imperfect replacements. In the Village and Pillage update, Mojang added workstations for villagers as a way to influence what jobs they had, but they also wanted to give these tables purposes, some being the stonecutter crafting stone objects into slabs and stairs at better rates than the crafting table, and the grindstone which can remove enchantments. However, two of these tables remain without use, the fletching table and the smithing table. The smithing table got used during the Nether update, however this one was contrived to say the least. It allowed players to upgrade diamond gear to netherite. This was a unique use, as it was the only table that unlocked a new recipe. All the other tables did what the crafting table did, but better. This makes smithing table rarely used, and only used because Mojang forced it. The fletching table has no use. In Update Aquatic, Mojang promised us a new weapon for the first time since the game's release. This weapon was the Trident. It would have 7 melee damage, and would also be throwable, and would have multiple enchantments. Those being Loyalty, which would recall it after being thrown, Channeling, which would cause lightning to strike whatever mob it hit. Riptide would allow the player to throw the trident and use it to travel as long as the player remained in water. However, despite these unique enchantments, the trident remained underused as it can't deal enough damage to be effective in PvP. It lacks a sharpness enchantment, instead having impaling, which only increases damage for aquatic mobs. If Mojang wants the trident to be competitive in PvP, they need to change it to have a larger extension range, and maybe a damage buff. We do see some changes proposed for the trident by Mojang in these unreleased combat snapshots, where the tridents do have extended ranges. However, these changes are yet to be implemented and haven't seen any development in some time now. Lingering potions added in the combat update made potions have an area of effect variety. This would make potions linger in any area and give any players who stepped into it the effect. However, these are rarely used as the effect versions they apply are rather weak, and lasts for a short amount of time. And for effects like speed and jump boost, you leave the area with the effect, and it wears off too quickly to be useful. The potency of these potions clearly needs to be increased, as in any scenario where you hit multiple players with this effect, it would only last a few seconds, whilst it doesn't need as long lasting as a traditional splash potion. Maybe making it last a while longer will make them slightly more relevant. In the 1.8 update, Mojang added the enchantment Depth Shredder, which will allow players to move quicker in the water and make swimming in flowing water less annoying. However, Depth Shredder is not the enchantment we're talking about. The one we were talking about was added in 1.9, and it's called Frostwalker. The Frostwalker enchantment would freeze water source blocks solid, allowing players to go across the water. However, this pretty much makes it impossible to get into the water, which can be annoying sometimes. And it also risks breaking redstone farms using water currents. And maybe they should also remain active while on boats, turning all oceans into ice highways. In the early days, these should be the pinnacle of Minecraft travel, allowing players to travel the world quickly and automatically. However, with recent developments, they have fallen to the wayside. I'm talking about minecarts. Ice boats and elytra have really power crept on the minecarts, making them obsolete, where ice boats are faster and elytra are more useful, leaving the expensive and clunky minecarts to the wayside. Increasing the speed of the minecart would help, but the step required might still be too much. Mojang might need a way to reinvent the minecart, because at the current moment, the best use case is to automatically pick up drops from a mob farm. During Minecraft's Frostburn update, just after the combat update, they added 2 different mob variants, the Husk and the Stray, which would spawn in hot and cold biomes. These 2 new mobs have completely different textures, and Strays give the slowness effect, whilst Husks give the hunger effect. It seemed like this would end up leading Mojang to adding more mob varieties. These mobs have no new drops or any unique behaviors, instead feel like a remnant of a different design philosophy. Removing these mobs altogether would upset many people, but that would be a waste, so how about we make the Husk drop some sand some of the time when killed. This would give a unique automatic way to collect sand, perhaps making a slower but automatic way to collect sand. We already have ice farms, so maybe the strays could drop different tipped arrow types, other than the slowness, perhaps poisoning and harming. Another useless feature coming from the Village and Pillage update. This one contained a lot of promise and seemed like, at least on paper, would be useful, allowing players to get access to items they haven't found yet, like saplings and unique crops. I'm talking about the Wandering Trader. The Wandering Trader is a villager that spawns randomly at your home and offers several different trades, some of them being useful like bamboo, spruce saplings, and jungle saplings. However, most of them are useless like gunpowder, sugarcane, and gray dye. Often the common items are more frequent than the biome-specific ones, making the Wandering Trader an unlikely way to get saplings or different wood types, and not much else. And if you find him too early on, it's pretty much guaranteed you won't have the emeralds required to purchase the items. Fixing this one will be pretty easy, expanding the number of things the Wandering Trader trades for, that we have a higher likelihood of seeing with the plants we want. The Phantom was the first mob vote and was shown as the monster of the night skies, who would hunt players who hadn't slept in a while, and very little is known about the mob at the time of the mob vote. This mob vote probably had the best selection of mobs, and any one of these ideas could be something missing from modern mob votes. And I think it's like this because after the failure of the Phantom, Mojang seemed to become more cautious. Now the Phantom membrane can be used to repair elytra and craft slow falling potions, yet they remain the bane of multiplayer service and are a nuisance at best, and are universally seen as one of Minecraft's worst features. I think killing your Phantoms that are chasing you at night should get rid of them for the night. Each of these features, however, are fixable, as Mojang is able to add new uses and changes to pre-existing features and updates. Many of these features are fixable by slight balance tweaks like increasing speed of the minecarts and making smelting armor return more nuggets. However, there are some features that will be hard to fix, like the Husk and Stray or even the Phantom. With many different solutions proposed to these features, getting the right fix surely wouldn't be impossible.